Good morning, everybody. Wednesday morning today, Forex market. We're back. We got this one right here, New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc, sending some strong signals that we should take a close look. We think that we might be looking at the very edge of this upside trend, the same upside trend that started around August. The middle of August, we've seen an upside surge, the first upside segment, followed by a technical correction, and then the second upside segment, which was the bigger one amongst the two. So, and we feel, obviously, clearly we see that price just surpassed the previous high, right? So that alone puts a lot of pressure in this area, right, as far as resistance goes. But we're not only using this type of resistance, right? We're actually using technical, very precise type of key level system. So that's my second point here. We got this anomaly, if you want to call it, with 63.55. 63.55 belongs to a key level system that's actually presenting the short-term cycle, the very short-term cycle. So I'm going to switch to the daily chart just to show you how things are looking from the inside, right? But bear in mind, again, 63.55 is the level we're looking at, and you can see how, I mean, this is from a weekly perspective. You can see how price last week, right? It was on the go, but at some point it backed away, right? It dropped and closed right below that level, spiked it, right? And now it does that again. We are, in the middle of the week, and we already see this very impressive spike forming. You know what I mean? So again, keep that in mind. Now let's switch to the daily chart and see how it goes from the short-term perspective. So here you go. We see this is this purple system, right? This is the short-term cycle I was talking about. There's a chance we might see some trading range starting to develop here, but this is only from the short-term perspective. Later on, we should be merging with the long-term perspective, which dictates price ending up in the lower section of that technical picture we saw on the weekly chart, right? So we're talking about 59.95 at the very minimum. Let me jump again to the weekly chart just to remind you what happens when we start to merge with the long-term cycle. We think price is going to land right here, 59.95 and beyond, 59.20, where the previous lows are, right? And only then might be starting to come back up, which is very likely actually. But for now, we want to focus obviously on the short-term cycle, which means the move to 62.50. But beyond that point, we believe price will continue to break down, right? So effectively, we're establishing a long-term type of bearish position with a few targets, secondary targets along the way. We might start with 63.05 as the first one to take some profit off the table. Depends how much we will be able to build that position going downwards. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the story. New Zealand Swiss franc. It's very interesting. It's very imminent, right? We're gonna take action right after this video. We're gonna establish. We're gonna test the water, so to speak. We're gonna establish a short position, small short position, and let's see if we can start to ride that move. We expect a full-fledged downside reversal at this point, and we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, that's about that. New Zealand Swiss. We'll be back with the next one. It's going to be super interesting. I'm going to talk about the oil. See you then. Cheers.